Bonjour, Zach Sage Fox.
Zach Sage Fox.
What does it mean that you almost didn't get out of there alive?
A Palestinian man came over. Eventually, he starts bringing more Palestinian men over.
They're threatening to actually kill us if we don't delete the footage.
Do you support Hamas's resistance?
Yes, of course.
Really?
Every single Palestinian, from the youngest to the oldest one, we always support any kind of resistance.
Do most Palestinians support Hamas?
Yes, of course, the majority.
Have you seen the videos that Hamas filmed themselves and posted from October 7th?
Yes.
Videos where they put babies in ovens.
Really satisfied. Now you're gonna look at me as a psycho, but I was really satisfied from what I saw.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Conservative Confucius here, back at it. All right, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Happy Friday. It is good to be here on Friday. Let's get into it on the Shabbat podcast. We are going to be covering what we normally cover. I explain it every Friday, just so you know, in case you haven't been here before, just what you can expect. And we are going to be covering some of the Israeli conflict like we always do, because it's Shabbat, it's Jewish holiday. And we will be covering any important news and cultural stuff that I see that may interest me or I think may interest you guys. So let's get down to it. Alrighty, guys. Don't forget to go down there, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and do not forget to share this video if you guys like it. Alrighty. Don't forget, make sure you go and subscribe. We just passed the 5,700 mark. So if you haven't subscribed already, please go down there and do that. And don't forget to leave a comment as well. It also just shows how much I appreciate, or you appreciate me and I appreciate you guys. And if you want, we're going to be doing a giveaway on some of my merch, and that leads me into this. So we have new merch literally almost every single day, guys. So if you want anything that you can think of, you have an idea for a shirt, you have an idea for a sweater, a jacket, a pair of shoes, a hat, let me know. Put it in the comments or email me. It's in the description. My email is there. Alrighty, let's look at some of the new ones, dude. We got Come and Take It. We got They Were All Felons, the founding fathers felon shirt, because they rebelled against the law of the land and they fought for a country that matters. And that's why They Were All Felons. If a bearded man can identify as a girl, then my 350 if a bearded man can identify as a girl, then my 357 Magnum can identify as a conceal hole puncher. Yeah, so let's move on. We have we're friends, not food, little kitty shirt. And we have the new Welfare Queen President Zelensky shirt and his weird little lingerie outfit that he did dancing around when he was an actor before he was a president. We also have our Israeli Better Watch Your Step shirt and a whole bunch of other stuff. We got F. Biden, the force is strong with him, Trump shirt with a red, white, and blue lightsaber, Ultra MAGA. Oops, my bad. You got You Missed, Trump. You got Better Watch Your Step long sleeve Texas shirt, Not Guilty, embroidered Make America Great Again shirt, Twice Protected, Twice Blessed, and so much more, guys. We have so much stuff. Whatever you are, wherever you are, you will have something we like. Make America Sith again. We got the Messianic Cross. We got a heavy duty bomber with MAGA gang on it. We got all kinds of stuff, guys. So make sure you go check that out. That is going to be streamlabs.com/conservativeconfucius/merch. We will leave the link in the description, and let's get going, dude. Alrighty. So this is posted from Zach Sage Fox. We have covered a few of his interview videos before. They're always fantastic. Always getting the best of what needs to be heard, and let's get into it a little bit more. Here we go.
Have you seen the videos that Hamas filmed themselves and posted from October 7th?
Yes.
Videos where they put babies in ovens.
Really satisfied. Now you're gonna look at me as a psycho, but I was really satisfied from what I saw. Because they didn't don't give this reaction. They didn't kill babies.
Yes,
they didn't kill girls. They didn't attack.
Just so you know, this post, Zach Sage Fox, this post on Twitter, if you go to this post, under it, you will see a post that I just made showing the victims, the little babies and children, and even other people that were murked by, deleted by Hamas. Some of them were, some like literally babies with their heads lopped off is the best way I can say it, and then burned. And then another baby, toddler that had their head lopped off, and then they were, sexually, I have to say it super slow, sexually, messed with after they were killed or deleted, and babies that were shot in their crib, and multiple bloody, crib even. It is crazy. I can't show it on here because obviously it'll get, I'll get banned immediately or violated. So yeah, let's
attack anyone. They attack soldiers.
I've seen the videos. Hamas filmed themselves on their GoPros and posted, and they murdered a lot of innocent people that day. And they did put babies in ovens. I've seen their own pictures that they posted. They weren't trying to hide it.
They were killed by their own military forces.
No,
For us, none of them are an innocent civilian, even the youngest one.
But the youngest in IDF is 18. Hamas puts kids into the combat.
Who said that Hamas let it?
They have pictures of the little kids with machete guns. They're
Okay, if I have a son, I would love to give him a gun and picture him with the gun.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, there's one thing about taking your child to the range or to a gun show where the guns are safe or like an instructor is near, but giving your child a loaded RPG or a loaded AK-47 or any gun loaded or even unloaded and not having a instructor there, a professional there, just letting them play with it, move it around with it, and that's ridiculous. That's why if you see the only pictures like they like to post when someone says, oh, what about the Hamas children with all the kids in Palestine with guns? You see pictures of them. Okay. They'll say, oh, what about this photo with all the Israeli children with guns? And they'll show like a person with kids with yarmulke as a kippah and like adults with maybe a kippah or something like that, and then guns. And it's like, yes, look at the gun. Okay, number one, unloaded. Number two, it has a cable running through the magazine, out the ejector hole, keeping it from ever being able to be used, loaded, or fired. Meaning it is literally almost as safe as it can possibly be, literally. And there are professionals all around them, watching them, making sure they're handling this with care. And the only other time is when they're at the range with their parents and an instructor. So it's either gun shows or range, both around professionals. Yet when you look at the pictures of Hamas giving children guns, they're fully loaded 90% of the time. They literally have magazines, and you can see and some of them have like, the way magazines are built. Sometimes you can see like gaps in the, plastic. They'll have gaps or holes in it on purpose. And you can actually see that these things are loaded, and these are kids. And I've even seen a guy, a Hamas member, gave his baby a headband and put 4 grenades on it, and then a 1911 Colt 1911 on its chest. All of it was loaded, and obviously the grenades were functionable. This is insane. Like, there's no comparing the two.
Be a resistant.
So, are you from Palestine?
Yeah, I'm from Palestine.
Okay, so born and raised
In Ramallah, but originally from Haifa, so I'm a refugee.
So when you say originally from Haifa, so you were born in Haifa?
No,
Nope.
But my grandparents were born in Haifa, but they were refugees due to the Nakba. And
Grandparents were refugees.
Yeah.
So there's no other refugees in the world that can claim refugee status that many generations past. Do you think you deserve the title refugee?
Of course, I'm a refugee, but
So they can be forced from their home, which they think is the land of Israel, which they call Palestine. So the land of Israel isn't their home. They think Palestine, aka the land of Israel, is their home. And they think just because that their grandparents or their grandparents' grandparents or grandparents' grandparents were kicked out of the land, that means that they can come back. And it's like, okay, fine. You want to go by that logic? Then that means because we were kicked out of our land and our grandparents, over and over again, they were kicked out of the land. Does that mean we also not only still have refugee status and we still have claim to the land? Or is it only work when you guys want it?
I don't deserve to be a refugee.
Do you live in a house?
Yes, in an apartment.
Your own apartment? You live with
No, with my parents, of course.
How old are you?
24.
So you live in an apartment with your parents?
Yeah.
A nice apartment?
Yeah, it's a cozy, warm one, yeah.
Okay, well, you look like you're dressed very fast.
Oh, thank you.
I like your glasses. What
Oh, thank you.
Gans?
Yeah.
Nice brand.
Trying my best as an engineer.
Those are like $600 sunglasses.
Oh, you're an engineer?
Yeah.
So do you think it's fair, though, for Palestinians to still have refugee status 3 generations?
No.
When you're living in Ramallah, you have a nice house.
If it's not
you have
for us,
nice
it's not for them.
clothes. When there are no other refugees in the world that claim that status, why should you guys have that status?
Because we've been raised with the concept that
We've been
we need to
raised
go
with
back
that
home.
concept that you need to go back home. Just like Jews were raised with the concept that they need to go back home. So what's the difference? It's just that it happens to be you. We've invited you to live with us, and you've turned it down. We've given you a state option for a state 5 times, and every single time we either gave you, like 2 of the times, we gave you 60% of the land if you took all of Israel, West Bank, and Gaza put together, we offered you 60% of the land twice. You denied it because you don't want us anywhere near you. And then we offered you all of Gaza, all of West Bank, and some of the bottom of the knife of Israel, like I mentioned in a previous video. A little knife point at the bottom. That's what I'll say. Like, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And we've offered you all that. You said no. We offered you some of the north, all of the West Bank, 98% of the West Bank, and all of that bottom part, and Gaza again. You said no. We offered it again without the knife point, but a little bit of other areas. You said no. And every single time we've still said you can have Jerusalem as a capital. We just have to share it. And their capital would have been West Jerusalem, and yet they denied it again. So no matter how many times we've offered them peace and prosperity, they have thrown it in our faces and attacked us the next day.
Our parents and our grandparents
They
used
just
to tell
hate
us
Jews.
that I'm a refugee.
When
You're
people
not
think
a
of
refugee.
refugees, they think of people that were just displaced from your
So
home.
they could say like, oh, well, the Israelite, just because you say you're from Israel doesn't mean you actually are. And it's like, okay, well, just because you say you're a refugee doesn't mean you are. Like,
Do you know Bella Hadid, the Hadid?
Of course.
They're considered refugees.
And they would love to go back
and if
to...
they think the West Bank isn't their land, that they need to go to Israel, then that means that Israel would, or the West Bank would really be our land, and they're the ones occupying it. How about that? Because it's true. The West Bank is Jewish land, no matter how you want to put it. That is the most Jewish land of all of Israel. It is the most Jewish part of all of Israel is the West Bank, which includes Jerusalem, Bethlehem, Nazareth, all that. And yet somehow it's considered Palestinian land, even though it's the most Jewish land. All the city names are Jewish. And other than Ramallah, and everything there is Jewish. All the archaeological finds, everything, architecture, everything. And yet somehow, like, they're the ones that are in refugee, like they're occupying our land. And yet I don't understand it. Like,
Nazareth.
I don't think they would. I think they would probably stay in America. Do you really believe that they would go back to Nazareth?
Of course.
There's been millions
no
of
way.
refugees. You could say the story of human history is displacement and refugees. We've stolen land, conquered territory, created countries, empires have fallen, empires are rebuilt. Like, why couldn't there be a two-state solution where you guys...
Feel like that. No, there's no two-state solution. It's either us or us.
But why? There's been about 5
Us
major
or us?
peace deals turned down throughout...
it's either me or me. Like, it's either me or me, not you. Like, it's like, well, that's only one option. You can't just say me or me and think that has, it's ridiculous.
The last 75 years, from Palestinians and the Arabs ruling the Palestinian land before this. You are happy that those were turned down? You think that was the right solution?
Yeah.
That seems to be the point of contention why there hasn't been peace.
We're not talking about peace.
At this point, Israel is a big country in terms of power, right? So it is so little chance that there would be a one-state solution. So why not think practically in a world where there could be a two-state solution and then you wouldn't have to go through borders?
I don't care. They need to go back to Italy, Germany, USA,
What about
where they
where
belong.
they're from Israel?
Where they raised originally.
Most of those people...
Where you were raised originally, just like you were raised there originally. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Your argument is bullshit. They need to go back to Poland. That's where their grandparents are from. And it's like, yes, but their grandparents are not from Poland. Like, you go back far enough, it always comes back to Israel. My grandparents were not just like very short time in Poland and Belarus. Before that, it was Russia. Before that, it was Georgia, what is now Georgia. Before that, it was Assyria. Before that, it was Israel. Like, and some of my family went the other way around. They went into Europe, but like most of my family went somewhere around that area. So like, you can't sit here and tell me that, oh, I need to go back to where they're from. And it's like, yes, but you want to go, you think they need to go back to where their grandparents were, but you are refusing to stay where you are, which is where your grandparents lived and where your parents lived. Like, just because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, you were born here.
No.
They were born in Israel. We're talking about now, 2024. Neither one of us were born anywhere near 1948. So shouldn't we be looking for solutions that can make a difference today?
Oh, no. It doesn't work like that. I'm an educated person. It's
No, you're
either
not.
us or
Far,
us.
you're
There's
indoctrinated.
Then there's never going to be peace.
It's their problem.
But that's
It's
your
their
problem.
problem. No,
because
it's our
impacting you.
problem.
You want to be able to not have to go through.
Yeah, and I'm trying my best to resist. Years ago, explaining ourselves, and we don't care actually how the U.S. sees us.
Cool.
Think that we need to think about it and peace and two-state solution. It's not gonna happen. It's not.
Okay, then you're going to be
nothing that we
obliterated.
want.
That's it.
Peace is
Like,
when
if
they-
you want to continue to kill Jews and say that you have the land and no Jew can live here, then that's it. There is no peace ever. It will be continuous, endless war. And eventually you will be the ones wiped out. You will be the ones that suffer, because no Arab army wants you in their country. No Arab country, no Arab government wants you in their country. They despise you. You commit terror attacks against them. Why would they want you there? So you're going to be on your own. And is that what you want? Do you really not want peace? Because peace is a great thing to want. And yet you want endless war and destruction upon your own people. And you're not educated. You are brainwashed and indoctrinated on such a level. It is insane.
I fear that you're going to be in this cycle forever. But so you hate.
Problem with Zionists.
Do you think Zionists deserve to die?
Yes.
Just trying to figure out like what actually leads.
That's like saying, oh, I believe that Zionists who believe that Israel has a right to exist and a right to protect itself, and that every Jew has an indigenous, the belief that the Jewish people are indigenous to the land of Israel and that the state of Israel has a right to protect itself. That's Zionism. That's it. No more, no less. And yet somehow, like, you don't see the fact that, like, you thinking you need to go back to home because you have a right to be there and it is your right. It's basically like a Pallywood version of Zionism for Palestinians. And yet you don't see that your far more radical version of that, like, you're doing what you're accusing them of doing. Like, you think they're hateful and extremist. You're hateful. You're extremist. And then you are everything a Zionist you think a Zionist is. And yet you're claiming that Zionists should die. And yet, what if every Israeli said that about people like you? Oh, every Palestinian Zionist should die. Every Palestinian who believes that they have, connection to this land and that this land is there and that all this, they should die. No, that's ridiculous. You would say, oh, they're genocidal, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you are genocidal. You just said an entire group of people should die because of their belief system and who they are and their religion. That is genocide. Like, are you insane?
Yeah. I'm asking questions. I don't know.
Come real quick, bro. Whose side are you on?
I'm literally just asking.
Exactly. He's pissing me off a little bit.
No, I'm not.
The thing is,
Where are you from?
I'm from the States.
You're fine, right? They're my cousins.
Yeah. He's very Semitic looking, so he can get away with, like, being around Arabs and not, like, coming off too, non-Middle Eastern. And that's the good part about that. If I let my hair get curly, which I do not do, if I let my hair get curly, I can kind of pass, but I have to get tanner again. And I just don't like the sun in Arizona. I like staying inside like a vampire, because Arizona is like 115 degrees out all the way until the end of, like, October. So I'm happy being here. So this is from Open Source Intel. Oh, sorry, my puppy's sneezing. Bless you. All right. Open Source Intel Lebanese channels are reporting that Lebanese Christians are refusing to shelter Hezbollah supporters fleeing the Israeli bombings. Good. In response, Hezbollah supporters and affiliates are forcing their way into homes and expelling the residents. Yeah, because they're terrorists. You support terrorists, you are a terrorist. That's just my view. Disgusting. There's more videos of this. Like, let me see if they're down in here, but I saw them post the other day. It's just ridiculous. Attacking people in their homes, hitting old women. It's disgusting, honestly, dude. We have some Gazawood for you. They're always filming in fake IDF uniforms. So every single time you see an IDF soldier committing something bad or holding a child at gunpoint, 99% of the time it's bullshit. Always look for the Israeli flag on the shoulder and make sure it's the patch that's basically the same color as the outfit. If it's a blue strap, you see people just strapping like a blue flag around their arm or printing one and putting it on there, or it is the blue flag, just like a patch blue that any of those are all fake. That never would be on an Israeli uniform, or it's just missing one completely. Let's see. This is Gazawood. Oh, look, a boom mic and a cameraman holding a gimbal and a camera. Yep, I noticed it. Don't worry. Cameraman and boom mic comes up in a second. Yep, cameraman. Oh, looks like how's it go? Oh, there's the boom mic. And then, there's the boom mic. There's the cameraman right there. Boom. Right there. Boom mic. Cameraman. Film crew. Yep, and they're not even really uniforms. They're just cargo pants and tan, in like kind of greenish tan brown shirts and off-brand helmets and tennis shoes and regular boots and tennis shoes and tennis shoes and tennis shoes. None of them wearing correct boots. And that's like we pointed out last week. That's very common. Another one from Pallywood. Gaza has become a huge film industry, significantly huge source of disinformation in Israel. The hostility towards Israel is growing exponentially, and the threat can no longer be ignored. I don't know if that's copyrighted, so yeah. They're lighting a tire on fire so it creates black smoke. I showed you this video, guys, in the past. If you want to watch a whole bunch more Pallywood stuff like this video and a ton of other ones, make sure you go down and check out some of my Pallywood videos. There's ones like exposing Palestinian lies, Pallywood examining Palestinian propaganda, the original Pallywood video, whole bunch of stuff. Go look at my playlist of Israel/Palestine conflict, and you will see a ton of those videos. Basically, almost all the videos in there have some level of exposing propaganda, just like this. Yeah, this guy's saying, "Oh, the people in Gaza are suffering, and they're awful. They're just dying." And then a woman in the background is laughing, crying, laughing. This guy is literally trying to hold in his laughter. This guy's fake cry is horrible, and the corpse is moving. Its head just goes whoop, pops up. Oh, and its arm. Oh, now this part's moving. Stage scene, fake gunfire goes off, and they all start running and acting like they were shot, even though no one is shot. There's no blood anywhere. You don't writhe around like that. When you get shot, you don't know right away. As a person who's been shot, if you guys want me to prove this, let's go over something. Okay. So this one right here, in the middle of that tattoo right there, bullet went through a car door, landed at my arm. All right, that's nothing. That one was it. The energy was spent. I literally pulled it out like that. It was nothing. This one's going to be a little bit harder to do. Let's see. See that? That was a 40 cal that I got hit with. All right. It blew my ankle off. People, like, I didn't even know it happened. Both times. Like, when this hit, I kind of like heard something, and I was like, I felt like a flick in my arm, and I was like, ugh. That one I felt a little bit more. I didn't really hurt that bad, but I felt it. One of my foot, I didn't feel anything. I felt hot. And I was like, dang, that's weird. That's hot. And I looked at my foot, and I was like, that's a lot of cotton. I thought my boot ripped or something. And I was like, that's a lot of cotton. I was like, oh my God, that's bone. Oh my God, that's bone. Oh my God. And then that's when I started feeling it. And I went into shock basically and was bleeding everywhere after a few seconds. Like, it took like 30 seconds for that thing to start bleeding. At least it felt like 30 seconds. It may have been like 20 seconds or 15 seconds, but it definitely didn't start bleeding for like at least the first like 10, 15 seconds. It was crazy. Because there was like where I got shot, I didn't bleed for like a while. I walked, and you didn't, like, it was crazy. I was in pool of my blood after I laid down on the ground in the middle of the street, and just like, yeah, it was crazy. I was out of my apartment complex and was in the street. It was crazy. We'll get it another time if I haven't already. I think I have. And it's nothing like just going, like, I was just standing there going, and it's like panic attacking. It's like freaking out, basically. And it's not something where you just writhe around in pain and scream. It's not like that. That's not how it is at all. I wasn't screaming. I was, I don't know if I was crying or if I was like, just like panicking, like, oh, what the fuck? Oh my God. I think it was more like that, but it's insane. It's nothing like just writhing around like these idiots. Oh, look, that's weird. Why does this dead body have a moving head? Look. Oh, legs are moving. Oh, now the head's moving. Oh, fake Israeli shoots fake Palestinian, fake with fake bullets and gun that doesn't even recoil when it fires. For example, okay, so clear. Check twice. There you go, clear. So you can see. All right. When you shoot a gun, the slide will go back. It won't go stick back like that, but it'll go bam like that. So if it's not doing that, it's not firing. Can't control his laughter, this idiot. Covering his face every 2 seconds. Actually, I remember that. The guy was like laughing at him, like who was filming, he was laughing at him. He starts laughing. And more fake is IDF soldiers are all bullshit. More and more and more and more and more fake kid who was shot. He doesn't have any blood on him. Fake bullet wounds that don't have any, like, it's just ridiculous. Woman throwing up gang signs. I don't know. Guy acting like he's running to help a person who was randomly shot, and yet somehow 30 people come out of nowhere to fucking help him. Sorry for my language. So look. Oh my God, that guy was just shot. Oh my God. Help him. Or no, it was the same. What the hell? Huh! This is the guy that they're saying was shot. The guy who ran. What is going on? Oh my God. Got no injuries. And yet 10, 15 people come. Oh, let me help him. Let me help you carry. Let me help you carry him. They're acting like water's dripping from like some leaky pipe that was hit by Israel. Nope. Just a guy pouring a water bottle. Oh, fake people, fake shot, people being fake shot. Oh, fake fainting because fainting looks so weird like that. Yeah, this guy was ridiculous. I've shown you that one too. Yeah, so nothing happens. Some like the dude doesn't get shot, and like out of nowhere, like some like one guy like I don't know makes a noise or something. The other guy's like, actually he gets shot. There's no bullet wound. There's nobody hit him. Nobody nothing. Laughing at people. It's unbelievable, guys. It like know how much you're being lied to. Look at this kid. Oh, look at this poor kid. He's covered in dirt and he's so poor. Except for his clothes are very, 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 very clean, and his hair is perfectly clean, and his skin is perfectly clean, except for these weird little finger marks on his face, like he's been playing in dirt, or his mother got a couple fingers of dirt and ash and put it on his face. Maybe from this dirty, fire-covered brick in the background. Maybe where they had a fire inside of it. It just sounds like baby nonsense to me. I don't speak Arabic, so it just sounds like baby garble from like even an English baby. It's funny. Gaga, gigo, boo boo, gaga.
I am tired. I am very tired. Little boy, please.
Please give me your money. Please, goo goo gaga. Please give me gaga goo goo money.
Please, Palestine.
Please give me money, please. More bullcrap from the fake press, who literally set up cameras so that they could film a guy who's walking in front of Israeli military vehicles, trying to have them run him over, and so that the press can get it on film. From Gazawood again. Last few of these have been. See that guy? Can you hit me? No? You won't hit me? Damn it. Okay. How about this one? Can you hit me? No? Damn it. Come on, hit me. Hit me. Come on. And they film a propaganda video like, oh, you monster. You guys are awful. Oh, look at this lone man standing up to the tank. It's like Tiananmen Square in China. No. Bullshit. Run over me. Come on, do it. See? You want to do this? What do you want to do? No. Ridiculous propaganda bullshit. Hit me, dude. Come on, hit me. Banging on that window now. Come on, hit me. Run over me. Kill me. Blah, blah, blah. That's what they do. Come on, hit me. Hit me. Come on. Dumbass. He throws a shoe. What a pussy. Is he a Mexican mom throwing shoes at people? Ugh. Ridiculous, dude. Such unbelievable propaganda. Yeah, we have another one. This is from Eli Arafat. Is it Arafat? Oh, sorry. Afriat. Can't stop laughing. And supposedly this is his dead child, which he's talking about. Yet, his dead child likes to wiggle his toes a lot. Watch. Wait for it. Oh, wait. I can't. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways, just for you guys. Oops. Sorry. All right. And watch his toes. Oh. Look at the toes. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Crosses his feet in a different direction. Recrosses his toes a little bit more. Again, crossing his feet. Curling his toes. Curling his toes, crossing them. The kid doesn't stop. Look at this. This is insane. Look, and again, moves his foot again. Oh, look at this poor baby. Moves his, oh, I got an itch. You're trying to, oh no, let me cover that itch up with my arm real quick. I don't want you guys to see him itching his foot. It's always best when they use propaganda, children in the propaganda. It just lets you see through all the crap that they're pushing. Erica Laban destroys, jihadist apologist on Piers Morgan.
The PLO were in southern Lebanon firing rockets into Israel after they just got expelled from Jordan because they were doing the same thing, hijacking planes, landing them on revolutionary.
That's why no one accepts Palestinian refugees, is because they are awful. They just do the worst crap to the people of the country, and they want to take over that country.
Airports, blowing them up.
Look at Lebanon.
International media. Then they go to southern Lebanon. Then it went up to Beirut and started fighting with the Christian Maronites to assert domination in Lebanon. Why? Because they are jihadists. And then what happens in 1978, which is the first invasion of Israel into Lebanon. Yeah. Why? Because the PLO did an attack on a bus in Israel that killed 38 people. Israel goes in to try and take out the PLO, and then the UN requires them to retreat, and they send their UN interim forces for Lebanon, to take out the PLO. The UN runs away, and the PLO comes back. continues its attack, okay? The second invasion into Lebanon, because of the continued attacks and because the PLO doesn't leave, they have to create this occupation. As soon as they removed the occupation in 2000, Hezbollah advances to the border of Israel and starts attacking again. And then comes the UN resolution 1701, requiring not only that Hezbollah stays 10 kilometers back from the northern border, okay, but also that all of these militias in Lebanon have to disband, and there can only be a militarized Lebanese government. Israel abided. Who did not abide? Hezbollah. Then what did Hezbollah do for 18 years? For 18 years in the zone that they were not allowed to be, they started expanding their military capacities up to 200,000 munitions, and then on October 8th started attacking. Let me ask you, from the jihadist perspectives, where is their commitment to stop the terrorism?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I agree. She is on point. She knows her history. She's an Iranian Jew. I think I'm not sure if she's actually Jewish, but I know she's Iranian, and she fights for Iranian women's rights. Actually, I don't think she is Jewish, but she's an Iranian woman who lived in Iran for years, or escaped, and is now a refugee of Iran, and fights for Iranian women's rights. It's amazing. She does a great job at that, by the way. But yeah, so do not forget, guys, go down there, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys do that. Hit that like button while you're at it. Leave a comment. Don't forget to do that. And let's move on a little bit more. All right. So we have another one from Erica Laban.
Israel's killing of civilians.
Let's lower that volume for you a little bit.
And the war crimes it is committing in Gaza and in Lebanon.
Well, let me ask Erica Laban.
I condemn everything that has been caused by the jihadists, and this is not my opinion. This is based on causal reasoning. You kidnap people and you take them to a different place. What other option does a sovereign nation have but to return its citizens? And when the jihadists bury themselves wherever they are, whether they're in Lebanon, whether they're in Gaza, whether they're in Iran, whether they're in Syria, they are making the people of that nation, the people they are burying themselves amongst, vulnerable to being killed in this way. So yes, I absolutely condemn those deaths, and I absolutely blame the jihadists for that. And first of all, to go back to this claim that Hezbollah never started this war, from the 8th of October, started launching, by this point, over 11,000 rockets into Israel. 96,000 people in northern Israel have been displaced. 10% of Israel's landmass has been depopulated.
Yeah, you'll see all over the news today. I saw all over the news today and over the last couple of days. Oh, Israel has told people to leave their homes, so now there's been a mass, displacement of people from their homes in southern Lebanon, so that Israel can carry out its war against Hezbollah. The people willingly left their homes, and they want to. But let's just say, okay, so the mass displacement, so horrible, so awful, bad Israel. Okay, well, we could tell them to stay in their homes and they'll die. Is that what you want? You want Israel to be the villain no matter what. It doesn't matter how we do war. We tell people to leave their homes and find safe refuge. Oh, bad Israel, you made them leave their homes. Okay, we'll stay in your homes and we'll just carry out war against Hezbollah. Oh, bad Israel, you let them use, Hezbollah using the, human soldiers. You don't even care about them, or the human shields. You don't even care about the human shields. You just bomb them anyways, along with Hezbollah. Oh, bad Israel. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What about the 110,000? It's actually 110,000 people that have been displaced because of Hezbollah in northern Israel. The fact that almost all of the north of Israel was on fire for like the last 3 months and no one gave a shit. Like, are you kidding me? The double standard is insane. No Jews, no news. And when there is news about the Jews, it doesn't matter how it is. It has to be portrayed a specific way, even by Jewish, journalists and all that crap, because it's what the media wants. If Jews ran the media, I'm pretty sure they would do a better job at illustrating it, or a better job at, just illustrating their point of view and illustrating themselves in the media. And yet somehow the media is very, very anti-Israel. So is it Jews run the media or they don't? Because anti-Semites can never make up their mind.
Are out of their homes, children are out of their schools. In the final instance where there is a precision strike on Hezbollah terrorists, why did they do that? Because the commanders, the leaders of Hezbollah had a plan to attack northern Galilee and do a second October 7th, kidnap hostages with a ground invasion. Now you tell me, what should Israel do? Just bend over and keep accepting it? None of these things are are acceptable to you people. Targeted strikes, unacceptable. Pages, unacceptable. What is acceptable to stop these terrorists from persistently and belligerently attacking Israel? And to make the claim, first of all, to make the claim that they are doing this on behalf of the Palestinians is absolutely outrageous. You want to say that, oh, we're fighting for the Palestinians because of the occupation in this oppressive military state. What about Hezbollah's oppressive military state? What about Hezbollah's state within a state that has undermined Lebanon's sovereignty? What about the fact that Hezbollah goes to Syria and massacres people on behalf of Assad? What about the fact that Hezbollah goes to Iran and massacres, rapes innocent Iranians? So why don't we just say that everything that Israel's doing is in behalf of the innocent Iranians, the innocent Syrians, and the innocent Lebanese? You know why you don't say that? Because it sounds absolutely ridiculous. It is a red herring. It is a red herring to claim that Hezbollah is acting on behalf of Palestinians when what they're doing is exactly what they said.
They're taking advantage of a conflict to further a goal of destroying Israel and killing all the Jews. Hezbollah's chant, their slogan is death to America, death to Israel, death to Jews. In that order, I think. Yeah, so Yosef Hadad, an Arab man who lives in Israel who fights for Israel. He's an Arab Muslim. He fights, for Israel, and he was encountered by this man in America. Looks like even like this might be in Arizona or maybe California.
You want to do what? I want to kill a Jew. The old-fashioned way with my own fucking...
This is literally unbelievable. And this gives you a little bit of the understanding of how the anti-Semitism in the United States is just unbelievable.
Actually, let's see. Is Yosef Hadad Jewish? Am I confusing him with another one? I'm pretty sure Yosef Hadad is an Arab, not a Jew. But I could be wrong. I want to make sure I give you guys the correct information. I know he's an Arab Israeli. I was right. So he's just standing up for Jews. He's not saying I'm a Jew, fight me. He's basically saying that, but he's not saying he is actually a Jew. I mean, obviously he isn't. So
there is this guy.
He can always convert if he wants, but I don't think he will.
Literally over there. He's going in.
I'm not saying he should.
The streets here, shouting, "I want to fuck a Jew," and these are the security guys who are cold. And they're literally just following him now because here we go.
So
just have it right now on.
I think this is La Brea. That's La Brea Street. So yeah, I think he's in a Jewish neighborhood, I think, or at least near it, which is insane that he's screaming this stuff, running up and down, an area that's prominently Jewish in California. It's just insane.
Come here. Tell me what you want to do. What do you want to do? Go ahead. On who? On who you're spitting? On who you're spitting?
Disgusting.
There's no point in us talking.
Why?
We need a fight. That's all we need to do.
That's
all we need to do.
We can actually talk.
No, we can't.
Now tell me something.
No,
why do you want to kill someone like it?
We do not relate.
What are you?
I don't take orders from dumb shit.
Why do you hate Jews?
You're taking orders from yourself, and I'd say you're pretty dumb.
They're killing fucking innocent fucking people. Hold on.
That's what all these idiots know.
October 7th was a prison break.
From whom?
Gaza trying to break out of a fucking prison, dumbass.
So their luxury restaurants and hotels and beach resorts were a prison. If they always say it was like a Holocaust. If that was a Holocaust, I don't know why all of my relatives happened to die. And that, if it was that great, I mean, it's insane to compare these things together. It's not a prison. It wasn't an open air prison. It wasn't a Holocaust. These people are insane.
The border with an Arab country called Egypt.
You didn't even know that.
You didn't know that? Really? Did you know or no?
Nope.
Now you're suddenly quiet.
Yep. Make sure you shut them up. That's how you do it. This is something actually I wanted to cover. It's going to be a little bit more serious note. I've told you guys a lot about a decent amount about what happened to me as a kid and as a teenager and some of the sexual abuse that I've suffered. And I just thought this would be important. I think that needs to be heard, that every guy in the world needs to hear this, every girl, every woman in the world needs to hear this, and it's just something that needs to be heard. So let's get into it.
So about 2 years ago, I was a valet driver, and one of the coworkers had asked if I wanted to hang out. I'd blown him off a couple times, and then eventually I was getting off one night, and he asked if I wanted to hang out. You know, he said there were a couple people coming, a couple of his friends coming over to his place, so I said, why not? And I get over there, and it was just us two. And so I thought, you know, this is a little strange. You know, he said that his friends ended up bailing, so I said, okay, I'll leave here in like an hour or two. He had given me a drink. We'd started drinking a little bit, and I was probably only about a beer or two in, and I just started feeling just completely drunk, as if I drank like 5 or 6 or 10 beers, you know, just completely intoxicated. The last thing I remember was just passing out. And then I wake up, and it was 13 hours later. I was in the hospital bed. I was pretty confused. The nurse comes up and she says, hey, just wait 1 minute. So they were checking me out, they were getting me out there, and I just start remembering back, and I get bits and pieces of just, you know, like, just little moments of, you know, just while I'm sleeping, just getting touched or getting grabbed and stuff like that. And so it just started rushing back to me, and you know, just looking at the nurse and saying, hey, I think I'll just say, I think I got raped. And so, you know, she kind of laughed it off, said, no, you just had too much to drink last night, because I guess I'd been there for so many hours. So I get checked out, I go outside. I remember calling my mom. I just remember telling her that, just, hey, Ma, I think I had gotten raped last night. And I remember her initial response was that she laughed and said, no, there's no way that happened. I don't know if that's the exact word she said, but it was something along those lines. And I just remember just instantly blowing up, and I started yelling in the phone. You know, I was yelling out front of the hospital. As the day kept progressing, I just kept remembering more and more of what had happened. I talked to a couple mental health experts. I talked to a couple police officers. But ultimately they just sent me on my way and told me that they would just get somebody to investigate it. And I felt pretty alone after that. I felt pretty isolated. I just didn't feel adequate. I didn't feel as if I was a person.
You didn't feel like you were man enough. You didn't feel like you're broken. Especially, it happens all the time. And yeah. My adopted sister, I've mentioned this before, molested and raped me from the age of 4 till 7, eventually finishing it off with a full-on grape. But before that, it mainly had been, you know, molesting and assault. And I actually didn't know this. I didn't know why. I mean, a lot of people didn't believe me, and I think it was possible. But people say, how is it possible for a child to get, you know, erect? And I said, I don't know. And they don't have any sexual pleasure. What would it be for? And I found out that it's actually very common in little boys. Even the first time that a little boy has an erection is almost always in his mother's stomach around 7 months. So they happen even in womb. And they continue to happen a lot on the, you know, once they're born, and they happen a lot in their toddler years and other things like that. First time it happened, she was helping me unbutton my pants to go to the bathroom. Second time it happened in front of other people under a blanket. Third time it happened, she was changing my pajamas. And then it happened again like that. And some other things that happened, and more of a blur. And then when I was about 7, she was home visiting after getting sent away to behavioral stuff. And we were in Texas at my adoptive grandparents' house. And she had moved into my mom and dad's my adoptive parents, their room was upstairs at my grandparents' house when they would visit, and they had switched. So my brother and sister, who were getting in trouble all the time, especially together half the time, weren't next to each other. So they switched, and you had to walk through me and my brother's room to get to my sister's old room. So my dad and mom switched and did put it there, so they weren't right next to each other. And my mom and dad's old room, now my sister's room, was across the hall. And I had got up and had a nightmare, and it was cold, and I thought I was walking to their room, and I walked to my sister's room, and she said I could just get into bed with her. And yeah, I don't want to talk about it. And then when I was 13, about almost 14 or so, I had started raving, and I'd been to raves, and nothing bad had happened. And eventually I was at this rave, and I met this guy. It was Carlos, I think. And he was either, yeah, it was Carlos. I was going to say Carlo or Carlos, but that's a different incident. The other incident, actually. And we'll get into that one in a minute. Carlos, and he was a gay guy and just seemed nice. And he actually went, when I was chewing on my tongue, because I was so messed up on stuff, he went and got a thing for me to chew on, so I didn't chew a hole in my tongue and bite my tongue off. And I thought that was nice, and we exchanged numbers, and I got sent away not long after what happened to me because I was so messed up from all that crap. And before that, though, right before I got sent away, he invited me to hang out, and he said, "Hey, let's roll, do some ecstasy or whatever, maybe drink a little." And I was like, "I don't really drink that much, but yeah, I'll come over." What he did was he put GHB liquid. It's basically what they call liquid ecstasy. You take a little bit, it feels good. If you take it's a date grape drug mainly for everyone, from gay men especially. And you do too much, and you basically become completely incoherent of what's going on, but you're still awake and doing things and taking part in things, but you have no idea what you're doing. You have no inhibitions. You're just completely, drugged out. And I didn't know he put that in there. And so he given me the ecstasy, gave me the beer with the GHB in it. And he had a friend with him. I'm not going to mention his name because he bailed out and eventually came and apologized to me and actually told me what had happened to me. And I always thought maybe had happened to me. I didn't know. And I remember he was like, "Hey, I'm going to go get some sodas for you guys." Never came back. And I was like, what the hell? Because that was just when he started trying to mess with me. And I was so messed up. I can remember the beginning. Eventually I woke up and, I had my pants off, and I had stuff like lubricant all over me. And I remember something else in the night that made me realize how much he had planned this out. He told me to sniff what was called poppers. He said, "Hey, it's like doing dust off, or, like doing whippets." And I was like, "Okay." Makes the blood rush to your brain and make you feel woozy. Well, gay men use it to loosen the butt. And due to that, I got sent away. And not due to that, but I was so damaged and so messed up at the time and so angry at everybody, I got sent away for a little bit in a group home, and came back, and things weren't better. The group home was horrible. It was miserable. Lots of physical abuse and verbal abuse. And when I got back, I started doing heroin. Eventually, I couldn't smoke it because it was making me puke, and tried shooting it up. First time I tried shooting it up, I was hanging out with my friend Carlo, not Carlos, and we eventually just went back to his house. And I don't really remember anything. And this is the one that I always forget about. I always forget that this happened to me. And because this one was I don't remember almost any of it. I remember bits and pieces. When I think about it, I remember it, but it's just like, I don't want to think about it. That one was so bad. It was the most forced of them all. Like, I remember being really messed up and him doing stuff to me. I don't want to get into it because this one is really messed. Like, my brain has completely tried to shut this one out. And I think it's not only that, but it's like because it's happened multiple times, my brain just wants to shut this out after a while. It's just like, I can't handle this anymore. And yeah, so that one happened. And I was almost groomed I was almost groomed again before that, though, in between those. And then I was almost raped again later. So it happens to men. And I think everyone needs to be aware of this. And I hope sharing my story makes people understand out there how much this affects men. Like, I felt inadequate. I felt less than. I felt alone. I felt like I wasn't a man. I felt like I was broken inside. Like, why does this keep happening to me? What, is there something wrong with me? Is there something that makes people want to do this to me? Am I the bad thing that's making this happen? Like, what is wrong with me that this keeps happening to me? And eventually I had to realize nothing's wrong with me, that the world we live in is a broken world. And, you know, when you go down a broken path, other broken people will take advantage of you. And that's just the way it is. And, you know, but yeah, let's move on. I hope that, you know, helps somebody out there. And if you guys feel alone, if you're depressed or sad, you know, make sure you guys call somebody that you know, or go to, you know, website. You can go to BetterHelp. I'm not sponsored, but go to BetterHelp or something. Get some help. Call your parents. Do whatever. If you can't find anybody, just leave a comment on me, email me, do something, and I'll talk to you for a while. But yeah. So here, we'll move on. Libs for TikTok. Last thing we're going to do. A woman from Guatemala who had been only in the U.S. for 5 days was reportedly showed up in an Arkansas women's clinic with a Medicaid card. And by the way, it took me, when I moved to Philadelphia for a while, it took me 2 months. And that was an expedited one because I had medical issues and disabilities that I needed medical care for immediately. So they had put a massive rush on my card, and it still took nearly 2 months for it to arrive. I ordered it in the beginning of November. It didn't get there until the very, 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 very end of December. I'm talking like November, like I think it was like November 26th or like November 20. What was it? Actually, no, it wasn't even that. It was January. Holy crap. Yeah, it was January, I think like 11th or 10th or 12th. It was crazy. So it took over 2 months for it to get there. And yet this woman in Arkansas was able to get a Medicaid card immediately.
Okay, so Arkansas is having a really big immigrant issue. I work at a women's clinic, and we had a patient come in who'd been in the country for 5 days from Guatemala. My boss was asking way too many questions about how she got Arkansas Medicaid, being in the country for 5 days. The 2 ladies she was with got in my boss's face and told her she was asking too many questions, and they took the patient and she left. She didn't deliver with us. This stuff is real and it's happening, and I need other people to recognize what's going on. It's scary. We have other women who are broke and Arkansans who need that secondary Medicaid to help pick up like deductible and co-insurance because it's expensive and life is expensive. But to have someone come in the country from Guatemala and after 5 days in the country, they have a card, an actual card. My kids don't have Medicaid cards.
That's insane.
They have an actual card. So if the governor's office wants to get in contact, I would like to know how the hell this is happening. Other women, it takes like 3 months to get their Medicaid started. And so they get hounded every time they come in because they have a balance and they can't.
In Arizona, it's relatively easy. Like, I'm on Medicaid in Arizona, actually. And it took me, like, I mean, I applied through my doctor who I'd known, and because they can do it on the computer there. And I mean, literally, I got approved the same day and I got my insurance. But I didn't have a card for like a good 3 months or, 2.5 months later, I got my card. But, not only have I been in the system here before, but like, I'm a resident of this country. I'm a citizen, I'm not some foreign immigrant, doing that. That's just insane.
Can't pay it. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
In conclusion, how is this happening? These people aren't even speaking English. I mean, chances are how are they getting names right on the card? There's so many factors here. It's inside. Someone inside Arkansas Medicaid has some connections to either Highest or the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much. It's that plus more plus other things we don't even know about. It's insane. All righty, guys. So that is going to be it for today. I appreciate you guys coming down. You know, Shalom Shabbat. We're actually going to finish with a prayer. And this is a prayer for the day. This day is honored. That's what this is called. Yom Zeh Mechubad Mikol Yamin Ki Vo Shavat Zur Olimam. Shishet Yamin Ta'aseh Melakatecha Veyom Hashevi Leyo Lelo Chayach Shabbat To Ta'aseh Vo Melacha Kichol Asa Seshat Yamim Rishon Hu Lemech Rei Kodesh Yom Shabbaton Yom Shabbat Kodesh Al Kon Koesh Biene Yakadesh Al Shtei Lachem Yitze U Tamimim Echol Mashamimin Tishe Mamtikim Ke El Yitin Le Bo Devekim Beged Libosh Lachem Chukem Basa Vagaim Vekol Mat Amim Aloch Tescha Cho Bev Ve'achat Vesavatu Uvrecha Et Adonai Elohecha Asher Ahavata Ki Verecha Mikol Ha'amim Hasha Mayim Mesaperim Kevodo Vegam Haaretz Mela'a Chado Riku Kol Ele Aseta Yado Kihu Hadzur Polo Tamim. In English, just so you know, you may do your work for 6 days, but the seventh day is for God. On Sabbath, you do not work, because he made all things in 6 days. And the first holy assembles a day of ceasing, the holy Sabbath day. Therefore, let every man sanctify with wine and break 2 complete bread loaves. Eat rich food, drink sweet wines, because God will give those who cling to him clothing to wear, their daily bread, meat, fish, and other delicacies. On it you will lack nothing, but you will eat and be satisfied and bless the Lord your God, whom you love, for he has blessed you more than all other peoples. The heavens declare his glory, and the earth is filled with his devotion. See that his hand made all of these, for he is the maker whose deeds are perfect. Amen. And yeah, sorry my pronunciation is off in Hebrew for my Israeli and Hebrew, knowing listeners out there. I can read it, but I need work on my pronunciation and my, just overall verbiage with it, just getting through it. I can read it and I know the words, but a little bit tweaking is what I need. All righty, guys. So don't forget to go down there, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure we're almost to 6,000. We're past 5,700. Keep it going, guys. And don't forget to share this video if you guys like it. All righty. We'll catch you in the next one. Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, and we'll see ya.